And hopefully you guys can hear me. I was supposed to go live earlier on this particular stream, but guess what? I went live earlier, like an hour before. Hey, everybody, how are you doing? It's Sharon, RN2 CEO. Those of you catching the live, and of course, those of you who are catching the replay. Hello, hello, hello to you. Today, I want to talk about so many things. I wanted to talk about life, love, travel, your purpose, everything that you could think of. Oh my goodness. And so that's what I'm going to do. It's a beautiful afternoon where I am. Maybe it's for you morning, afternoon, or evening. I'm saying hello to you. Hey, Cashley, what's up? Oh my goodness. I should have been on. I just messed up the dates, everything, and I just decided to change the topic. So, yeah, thank you for checking in. I really appreciate your support. Definitely, I appreciate the support. So, it's just an evening that I'm just chilling. So, it's much to do about just talking. I'm going to just be chatting, any Q&As, something like that. You know what I mean? I think what we spoke about, I got to look back. Once again, I got to look back on the topic. I think I spoke about powerful choices and bold results. And so many of us, just in case the light goes out, don't worry about it. It just is what it is. My makeshift studio, this is what it is. You always want to get good lighting. Always. Okay, always good lighting. And the best one is outdoors, like when you're in Jamaica. Hey, VC, hey, hey, hey. It's raining. I saw that. I was on somebody else's live and they were going somewhere and it was raining. I'm not going to stay long. I'm going my raffle at 5 today and giving a Logan banner. Oh, absolutely. Okay. Thank you, Cashley. I appreciate your support. Thank you for stopping in. VC. Oh, my goodness. Thank you. I saw that you watched one of my lives being in Dominica. Dominica is a very nice place, very green, very lush. It rains every day, sometimes maybe for only 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And that's it. But it's very lush. It's volcanic, so it has nine dormant volcanoes. Okay, great. Thank you, Cashley. They have volcanoes there, and so it's very nice. I think as a travel vlogger, what I would do, this is it, or me, I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm just saying. One of the things is how can I travel one place and hit like three different places on that one trip? And I just saw somebody went to Anguilla from St. Martin and Martinique, and then Anguilla, I think it was. Yeah, or St. Bart's. But they were able to do one trip, and I guess they had to use their passport just to make sure they can get from one place to the next. And I thought that was so smart because I've always wanted to go to Anguilla. I've had friends who have gone and they stayed at the Four Seasons. They said it was very nice, very small, not much to do, but very nice. So I've thought about that. Another place that's great is Saint Vincent and the Grenadines. Saint Vincent and the Grenadines. You'll be on Saint Vincent and the Grenadines, then you can take the ferry over to Bequia, which is a really quaint, beautiful little island, and I think Kanawan. So some of them you can fly, or some you just take the ferry over. So that's great that you could do one thing and just a 20-minute or half hour. I can't even remember how long it was for Beckway, but we were able to do that. Go to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and then go over to the other islands, like boom, like that. St. Thomas, the Virgin Islands. Also, you could do that. St. Thomas, Virgin Islands. Yeah, you could go to fly. That's the U.S. For me, I don't really need, but I do travel with my passport, but you don't really need it because it's the U.S. Virgin Islands. So it was St. Thomas, and then you can take the ferry over to St. John, right? And also you can go over to St. Croix. Usually when we're flying from St. Thomas, you could connect there. So then that's how you can do it. I would look at how can I go one place and see different things all within the same time. So we would have tons and tons of footage to do that. So yeah, we're talking about lifestyle, we're talking about travel, we're talking about love and everything else. Hey, Casey's Kitchen, how are you? Casey, guess what I did today? Guess what I and I had to go to YouTube again. how to make a poached eggs. Can you believe it? How to make poached eggs. Because earlier last week I was traveling somewhere else and they made poached eggs. And I'm like, they're just so perfect. Like they were perfect. They're really this little fluffy cloud. So guess what? I am. So now you guys are finding out I am not the chef in the house. I don't really do the cooking, the cooking thing, right? I can cook. I can do a few things, but I'm just never liked cooking. When the children were younger, I did what I needed to do, but I wasn't the cook in the house. The chef, he does all of the chefing stuff, right? So I learned how to make poached eggs. Yay! And I didn't even know you had to create a little whirlwind for the eggs. Just like when we're frying eggs, you know how it spread out some? No, you got to put it in the thing, and there it go. Oh, I'm talking about food. Let me talk about exercise. Hey, Barry, walking exercise for your health. Hey, Barry, how are you? Oh my goodness, did I walk today? No, today I took it easy because the last almost 2 weeks has been pretty hectic for me. So I took it easy today. I wanted to go to church, didn't make it. I wanted to go to the 1 p.m. Eastern time because we have different services. So I wanted to go to the 1 p.m., but something say just rest because it's a bit, and I wasn't feeling too well about Thursday and Friday, so I had to get my strength back up. Great, great, great. Yeah, and so I was listening to Betty's Corner, her church today. But yeah, I go to one of those big church that you don't know nobody. You just go to church and you come out. No, we have small groups, but it's a pretty big church. And our pastor, he's pretty well known. He's an educator and not in any of that. He's an engineer, and believe it or not, and he has done work for some of the highest in this country. And he's Jamaican. He let everybody know he was born in Jamaica. He came here, I think, when he was 5, and yeah, I'm very proud of him. Well educated, they're very good people. But the church is huge. All right, we have 2 campuses, actually now 3, and yeah, I love it there. So yeah, it's me, Mohammed Amin. Hey, now it's me. I mean, hi, how are you? Welcome on in, everybody. So it's Sunday evening. I'm just chilling. Earlier, I did a live, and I had my fireplace. I had my fireplace because I wanted to do a quiet live. So I lit the fireplace and the camera was just there. The camera was getting hot for a second. So I had to pull back a little bit. And then you could hear the crackling of it. So that's what I wanted to do today. So I needed, sometimes we just have to listen to our bodies. You know, we try to push it, and I've learned to listen. I've also learned, even working as a nurse for many years, we are when it comes to healthcare, and I'm sure some of the nurses are going to pop in. We take care of everybody else, and very little attention to ourselves, and that's not a good look. It's not a good thing. So self care is huge. It's a big part of who we are. And when it comes into the wellness side of things, there are companies that are paying buku dollars, hundreds and thousands of dollars. You hear that? Hundreds and thousands of dollars for people to come in and speak to their employees about wellness. So wellness is huge. And, it's big. It's big because even now, though a lot of people are working from home still, you still need health coaches, wellness coaches, because they still want to keep those folks healthy. So it might as well be healthy instead of, they'd rather say, you know what, instead of me paying all of that money, instead of us paying all that money when it comes to, taking care of our employees, if we can have information that comes in, hopefully they'll take advantage of it and they don't have to pay all of that. Because may I tell you, in this country, you don't want to get sick. Like nowhere you want to get sick, right? Because you have to enough money and time. And that's the thing too. That's why I tell people, and VC, since we're talking about travel, all right, let's see here somebody about Thessalonians here. Okay, discipline, disciple time. Thank you for the Bible verses. Okay, yes. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Thank you. He said, but we do not want to be uninformed, brother, about who those are asleep, that you may not grieve, or something. As you can see that here. Thank you so much. So very kind of you to have shared that. As an instead of word, thank you. Thank you. It's a lot of stuff, so now I can't see the other folks, but disciple time, thank you for that. Yeah. So, yeah, as we were talking about travel and taking care of ourselves, I say when you get an opportunity, guys, travel. One of the hospitals where I worked some time ago was close to one of the airports. Do you know how many people who were retiring were going on their retirement trip and something happened at the airport? I don't know if it was from the excitement, whatever was going on, and something happened and they end up in our emergency room or sometimes ICU or sometimes, you know. And this is what I'm saying. You have your life to enjoy it. They say you work 40 years, 40 hours a week for 40 years. And when you retire, they used to give you what, a gold watch, and then that's it. So why not, plan, like create time within, our lives. Yes, we have to, busy working, going to school, juggling a lot of things. Some people are parents, some are retirees, whichever way it is. Who said that you have to, not go on vacation or take time out for you? No, you're going to take that time out. Like I always talk about, schedule your time in, schedule that stuff in because it is so necessary. Let me get back up here with Barry. Walk and exercise for your health. Why I love that. Barry, walk and exercise for your health. Barry chose to use his platform to encourage people to go out and walk. And not only does he tell you, he's actually out there walking, talking, and getting in his watch time, meeting, greeting people. And I think that's so beautiful that someone's just say, like, hey, he'll tell you, take care of your health, do this, do that. And sometimes we wait until we go to the doctor, right? We wait until we go to the doctor to get that thing that will say, you know what? No, no, you may need to do this, you may need to do that, and you live long enough, those things will happen. But in the meantime, it comes to you taking care of yourself. So yeah, talking about travel, traveling. Let's talk about travel. Where's one place that you would like to go? Yeah, I think I haven't been to Greece yet. Greece is one of them. Greece, Egypt, and Israel. I'm always saying that. Ghana, oh my goodness, Ghana. There's so many opportunities to go to Ghana. So many opportunities. Medical missions, or I have a friend, they moved it to 2025, and there's another group going 2026. When are you looking to? And Kenya, nice. Oh, Kenya, yes, yes. I've been offered to go there too to do medical missions. Most of them is for work. Volunteering, it's still work. When we volunteer, yes, we also get to see the place. Kenya, that's definitely on the list. And it's up to me when I say yes to Kenya, because Kenya, it's going to be work. It's going to be a lot of work, and I have opportunities. There's a group that go at least 4 to 5 times per year, maybe six. Actually, their office is right next to mine, and they're like, "Oh, we're looking for a nurse," and a lot of work in uh, the OB world, with babies and so forth. I'm thinking about February for sure. Definitely, definitely. And when you go, that's going to be great. Like Jamaican Uncle. I don't know if you follow Jamaican Uncle, but he is all over. Where is he now? Rwanda or somewhere else? But he was just in, is it Kenya? I think it's Kenya. Yeah, he was in Kenya. Yeah, with Ayamawa. Right. So that I've been to South Africa. South Africa is beautiful. The beautiful thing about Africa is this, and you might have heard people speak about it. I know Ghana, when they speak about going to where the last place where the slaves were, and I know I wasn't ready for that because they're saying you'll never be the same. You will never be the same when you walk through the little area where people were kept, and they said you could see even the fingernails in the walls. And I just know something in my soul would just change because when we went to Africa, and Africa was in 2012, and you slept and they feed you, all this stuff. It was just the flight itself was great, and when I woke up and I felt different. I woke up and I looked through the window, and on the horizon I saw like an orange thing, and I said, "That must be Africa." And when the flight landed, you almost felt like you wanted to kiss the ground. Something inside of you, like everything inside of me, I think every cell, everything, something inside of me knew I was connected to this place in Africa, in South Africa. Johannesburg is where we first went. We landed, and then we went over to Cape Town. We flew to Cape Town, so we spent a couple of days in Johannesburg and went to Soweto and experienced some things here with the children. And it wasn't a medical mission. It was actually a retreat, but we do a lot of goodwill with the retreats, and so I just felt deeply, deeply connected to it. And then we went to Mandela's house, and he was ill at the time. We went to his house, and uh, I'm just trying to remember a lot of things in the museum. Now, the museum in South Africa, at the time, I guess it's still called the same thing, the Black and White Museum, and with apartheid was something else. Vibing with VC Barry, okay, great way to connect. Yes, yes. Barry does a lot of walking, and then if he's going to drive, he will tell you a bit about what's going on. So that's good stuff too. That's really good stuff there in the Florida area, I think. So South Africa is beautiful. Um, Cape Town is gorgeous. Table Mountain, going up on the mountains, it's really nice. And check though what year you're going, because when my daughter and her husband went, they found out that the cable cars that take you up to the mountains on top of Cable Mountain, either every 5 years or so, or every 2 or every 5 years, they they stop everything just to make sure everything is in working order. And the year they went was the year that they were doing maintenance on it. Yes, that's right, guys. Yeah, when you all sub, give yourself about 24 to 48 hours, because that's how you lose subscribers, because you will think that it's sub for sub, right? So you guys have to wait a little bit and then watch the videos. Go on there and watch a video, or watch at least 5 minutes or so of the video, comment underneath so the person will get the notification. Yeah. Yes. And I'll say one thing you want to do is a safari. If you have some people call it bucket list. We went on a safari, and that was nice, going on a safari. So you can, when you're going to do your trips, just figure out, what are some of the things you would like to see. So the safari was nice. Now in Cape Town, one of the things we didn't get to do, and when I go back to South Africa, I want to do that. It's to go over to Robben Island, where they held Nelson Mandela. The weather was bad because even when we were up on Table Mountain, it was so, the fog came in that getting back, they have a little cafe up there and a gift shop all up on the mountain, y'all. They have everything going on. The fog was so heavy, a few of us got lost, and they had to send a guide out to find us on top of Table Mountain. And yeah, And so the visibility wasn't that great. And even though it was in around September, October, thinking more September, where it was a little bit cooler. Even though the sun wasn't out, you could still feel a different kind of heat. The heat that different from Jamaica is just different. But South Africa definitely, that should be on the bucket list. Like, that to me was big, and it's beautiful. People keep, I don't know if people get these misconceptions, but South Africa. Hey guys, we're talking about travel. We're talking about love. We're talking about everything. We're talking about here. And yes, in South Africa, they think you know everybody in Jamaica. At the time when coming back, um, when they found out I was Jamaican, I was like a rock star. Wherever we go, Jamaica, Dubai, the same thing. If you're Jamaican, they just think you're just like a rock star. And some guy talking to me on the plane about Haile Selassie, what me know. All right. Oh man, I love Jamaica. And the flight attendants, they went to a thing called Passa Passa at the time. We say, you left Africa. We say, you left South Africa for go to Jamaica for Passa Passa. I guess it was some kind of dance hall thing at the time. She was like, oh yes, they would go to Passa Passa. So yeah. And that's a beautiful thing, when you go anywhere in the world, you don't have to pretend to be anybody else. Just be who you are, and they definitely will know. So I'm just telling people. So traveling is really, it opens up your mind. And VC, I love how you take us around. Like I said, I still marvel at that you take us around Jamaica and give us a feel of it. And I pray that you'll get the sponsorship you needed so you can delve more into you know to bring us more of that, because it is so needed. Because even watching the other bloggers, I'm seeing how they're able to see Jamaica, but they're backpackers. I don't think you can just get up and leave and say, boy, you're not bad. And they live in something called hostels, or, so they're able to go out and go rafting, and not even rafting. These young backpackers, I see them. They have guides that take them up the falls and stuff like that, and things like that. Hey, Betty's World, what's up? Betty's Corner, good to see you. Yeah, and you could map it out and plan it out. Blue Mountain. Did you do Blue Mountain? I have to go back through some of your videos, because Blue Mountain, I've never been. I would love to. I'd have to get myself like KC together so I can. Yeah, yeah, it would work. So it has to be planned for some of the things. Yeah, and then you know what? Even if it was once a quarter, there's an excursion that you take. I mean, plan for Jamaica or plan to to travel over here or travel anywhere in the world. But most of your travels, it could be a vacation. And then you say, hey, this is where I'm going to take my vacation, and I'm going to show something of that island. I have not been to the peak, but we went to a cabin between Blue and John Crow Mountain. Yes, I just found out about John Crow Mountain from Pojo, the backpacker. And I saw him up there, and there were some signs with Miss Lou and stuff like that. Yes, any travel has to be planned. Absolutely. And that's how you get the most out of it. You get the most out of your travels when you are able. There's some people who get paid to travel too. You know, there's some people who just get paid to cover other things. And like I said, it just could be a hobby and stuff. For me, before I became a nurse, I worked in the airline industry. So I've always been in love with travel because I knew that's something I wanted to do. And so about 8 years of that, and that was a long, long time ago, but I had the flexibility to travel the way that I wanted to. And so always, anything I was doing, that was the love of travel. Another beautiful place was the Amalfi Coast. Gorgeous. Nice. And another way to see it, now you've just put it out there in the atmosphere. She said, I would love to be paid to travel because I enjoy it. Now you put that out there. You know how many things are going to start popping up, VC? And it just may be, you know, um, yeah. The thing is that your blog and vlog in different ways, especially a lot of these influencers. There's a young influencer, a young Jamaican girl. It's like we're to over YouTube, right? Her name is J Spark, I think. Spark, and she gets paid, and she'll say, "Hey, everybody! Today I got this beautiful thing, and I'm going to use this and see how it works." And they just send her stuff. They're just see now we have to think about this platform because right now. Some of my videos, ads are playing on them, and I'm not monetized. They started this about what 4 years ago or something like that. That the videos can be played on your ads can be played on your videos and you're not monetized. And someone said, so I went looking for a video. I'm like, man, what am I doing this for? All of this stuff. Because that's why I kind of laid off YouTube for a while. But the person said, what I should, when we see that happening, YouTube is telling us that that content is good enough for them to put some kind of advertising on it. So instead of saying, why do I do this? Or maybe you need to make more of that. So when I go and I look into all the stuff in the back end, the videos that are doing the best are my travel videos, the ones in Dominica. My Dominica, or some of the stuff I spoke about when it had to do with Janelle Brunfield and Noah Lyles, and I'm dropping it in here because I'm going to put it in this too. That's when people started to look at the stuff. So you have to look and see what is it that folks are watching. I mean, I think the last month, I'm almost at a month that I'm really studying to understand how YouTube works. And so if there's something that you look when you go on videos and then you put in most popular, you see the numbers. You'll see why is it there. I did a small live from Dominica, and within no time, at the time, I think I had like 500 or 600 people watching it, and it wasn't even 5 minutes. Had I stayed longer, the amount of watch time from it, right? So look at this thing. If this is a stuff that you love to do, there are sponsors. See, YouTube already figure it out. So if I'm going to talk about money, they're going to be money ads. If I'm talking about health and wellness, they're going to be health and wellness. If I'm talking about travel, there's travel. And most of my videos is all personal development, Anthony Robbins, all those people, because they know that's how I flow, right? And so all these other top coaches are on top of my thing. They come in because of the personal development. That's why they're saying you never know what video can go viral. You'll never know what video can go viral because somebody may talk about something. The next thing you could have that video on for years, and after that, it, it just starts just like that. It'll just take off. And so even with the travel vlog, like who would pay me? What is it again that's so different about that I do that someone would pay me for that? If your niche is, you say, Jamaica, then but who are the types, and that's why it's good to do polls. I talk about we don't own any of these platforms, is to take off some of this stuff, some of the people that you've met, or do it on your community. If you were to come to Jamaica, what are some of the things you're interested in? Okay. And then you would need to know the age group and also to their income level. Jamaica is one of the places that it's not so expensive for folks to come, right? It's not terribly expensive, so people would be easier. Like, I love Bermuda. Bermuda is small, beautiful, and expensive. You're talking about expensive, it is expensive. The hotels there are expensive. You're talking about 4 or 5. And Jamaica is like that too, because I've seen some of the hotels in Jamaica, like the S Hotel down there in Montego Bay on the Hip Strip. When I was trying to come to Jamaica, when was I in Jamaica? In February. I actually was in Jamaica in February. It was 700 to $800 a night at that hotel right there. So, right. I think we ended up staying at, what is that little one? Iberia Star. We ended up at Iberia, and Iberia Star was still 400 to 500 a night. So you're looking at that, right? Half Moon. I've stayed at the Half Moon is nice. They have a great spa over there. Maybe you could, go over there and enjoy the spa or something. The spa there was nice. Half Moon. And when I look at what Half Moon was charging, I was like, Half Moon, I could get the place over the Half Moon less than I could get at the S Hotel. It was crazy. But then you have to understand peak time, when is the peak time? When it's cold over here, folks are going to want to come. There's some folks who want to leave the cold. So you have to know after, I think it's after November 18, 19, 20, 18, 19, 21, 22, 20. You'd have to look at when the peak times are in Jamaica. So let's say if it's for retreats, because when we did Half Moon, it was actually a retreat, right? And some people say, oh, 10,000, 12,000, and how much $1,000, 20,000, or whatever they're going to charge. But if you can have a certain amount of people in that space who are, well, yeah, but it's people who will pay for that. So that's what, in other words, I'm saying know your audience. So somebody may think something is expensive, but there are people who want certain, like certain things. Um, how would that work for you? That could be you. Say you come in, anyone that's coming in on a retreat, you could come in, you could do a talk, you could I was listening to you. This is BC. BC, I'm always picking on you, but I hope you don't mind. And you have the cultural side of it. People usually like that stuff. Mhm. Yes, people would want certain experiences, and so that's what I find out. That's why when I travel and why it took me a long time to go to Dubai because I was like, I like the culture. I like the culture of the places. And so for me, I would take Bali over it any day. I would take Bali over it any day because it's culture, it's people. You get to meet them, you get to experience that. So that for me was more than the buildings that I call them. It's a Disneyland for adults, and it's really what it is, just beautiful. But yeah, to travel, yeah. So the culture. When we went to Dominica, we had a group that came in on the lunch break at one of the clinics. Was it? Can't even remember. It was the first day, and they did a little dance for us and stuff like that, and it was just so nice because they're known as the Nature Island, right? And they mixed in their culture. There's another video. I don't think I have released it on my channel where the Indians who are very, indigenous to that island where they are not as many anymore. We went up into that section, and then, of course, they told us a little bit about it. And it's important that we keep the culture of any um, country, like how we had Miss Lou before. I don't know if you would have known, maybe your mom or somebody could tell you. We used to watch something called Ring Ding, you know. And so Miss Lou would bring the culture in, the books, and she would do all the literature and the poems and stuff. It's just stuff like that. We need to keep that. We really need to keep that. Yes. Oh God, VC. That means that you're real young. That's our Saturday, Master Ron and Miss Lou. We also, what I loved and remember about Jamaica, and we're talking about traveling. We used to listen to the radio. So just like how they have soap operas, So she had probably said, oh, how old she be? All right. How old is she? But we used to listen like Dulcimania and them things there. So we would listen. Yeah, you did mention that, and that piqued my interest. VC said, I was also a part of a folk group that did a lot of cultural stuff. And that in itself is so important. And I hope that we keep that because even here too, we have cultural day. It's important that we keep that. Never really want to lose it. So that's the thing about travel. When you say, okay, I plan it, what do I want to learn? What do I need to understand about the country itself? The same thing in Costa Rica. Maybe if you ever get a chance to go to Costa Rica, there's a side of Costa Rica where a lot of the Jamaicans are. But we were like 7 hours away, they said, or 4 hours away. We didn't even know where we stayed in Costa Rica. 4 hours. I'm not lying. It's not one, not two, not three. It was 3.5 to almost 4 hours to the house. I could have flown from Atlanta. I could have been in Jamaica. I said, why we have to play? We were in the heart of Costa Rica, wherever we went. But it was worth it, guys. It was absolutely beautiful, right? I have some footage from Costa Rica. It's not a lot because it was rather active, but their culture is so nice and the people are kind and it looked like Jamaica. Actually, Costa Rica looks like Dominica, or Dominica looks like Costa Rica. It's just weird because even somebody else kept saying it. Why this place? I keep feeling like I'm still in Costa Rica. Costa Rica has one of the places on earth that's called the Blue Zone. The Blue Zone, and I think there are few of them in in the world. Also, the what is that? We have it. There's a place in Jamaica called the Glistening Waters. What is it called? Some kind of lucent. The water. Like I said, there are only a few places. Puerto Rico, Jamaica, somewhere else. I'm not sure if it's Costa Rica, and they somewhere in yes, yes, the lucent, yeah, the water, because we did it at night when swimming. It's in Trelawney, yes, and there's a hotel there, right? It's an older hotel, but there's a place where we went swimming, and in the water you put your hands in there, and look that up, VC. There are only a few places on Earth, and Jamaica is one of them. Jamaica and Puerto Rico. I went to Puerto Rico also. So Jamaica, Puerto Rico. And then somewhere else, I'm not sure if it's Costa Rica or Japan. That's different. That have it, but the two places I know for sure. But there are like 4 to 5 other places on Earth, and then that's it. Glistening waters. Yes, it's called Bioluminescent. The yeah, because of the at night the organ, whatever is in it, it makes it look, when you put it, it's like electricity. It's like you see this, you see like on my ring flashing, you see the water. That's how the water is. That's how that is. So yeah, so Jamaica, they have that, and like I said, Puerto Rico. So yeah, yeah, to study about the country, I think understanding the culture of the people is big when you go into a country. Next year we're going into Japan, so I want to understand the tradition and the culture of the people, because you don't want to disrespect it. And that's one of the things, like when you go to Dubai, why do you hear people over there get locked up on thing and thing like that? No, go by the people in place and raise them voices and all kind of stuff. No. Mm-mm. They don't have no teeth over there, my dear. Me, if you leave a phone, you can come back and find your phone. They have no teeth over there. You not even see police, but them see you. That's one thing we know. you you not see them, but them see you. You in a bus stop, no homeless somebody sit on at them bus stop. Because they say everybody have to work. If you don't work, you don't have a visa, you go on and you go about your business. And so culturally, stepping into any country, um, it's big. So I would say kind of look through it and see, could you be a writer? Write and vlog and experience different things. It could be for the different Caribbean islands. Um, I met people who would come up to some conferences and they were trying to sell, like people who work with sandals and stuff like that. They would come into our conferences and they would showcase what they have because they're hoping that someone would be interested. So actually they know their market, they do their homework, something like that. I could see, or for a chain of hotel, and some of them may have their own people, but sometimes they want independent people too, especially. And this is why when you're on these platforms, know your audience, your age group. Who are the people who follow you? Are they male? Are they female? What's their age group? Because that's how people buy. And that's how advertisers or businesses are able to say, you know what? I would want this influencer to come because here are the people who are following them. So you're going to have to be clear on, hello, Cynthia Banks Holman. Hello, thank you for coming in. Yeah, we're talking about travel, we're talking about lifestyle, we're talking about love, we're talking about purpose, we're talking about everything. I'm sipping the tea and spilling the tea all at the same time. So yeah, I'd like to go to Switzerland. Definitely, Egypt is on the list. Ghana, Kenya, Switzerland, yeah. Brazil, South America haven't been yet that far down, but Brazil, I'd love to go to Brazil. Yeah, my other daughter was like, "Mommy, can we go to Australia?" Again, Australia. I said, "Boy, when I think of the flights, they're so long." Hey, Cynthia, you're here for Cynthia. We don't really want to say a bucket list, but if you were traveling, was one place you would like to go, or one place that you went, you enjoyed it, and you think other people should experience it too? Like what, where in the world? And I'm going to tell you this: me being from Jamaica, everywhere I go, I compare it to Jamaica. It just is what it is. Everywhere I go, I compare it to the land of my birth. It's just what it is. Um, Thank you guys for being here. Just listening to me chatting. It's just an afternoon chat. And how are you guys doing for your week? Are you planning your week? Dubai. Have you been to Dubai? Do you live in Dubai? Why you chose Dubai? Jerusalem. Yeah, want to go there too, of course. But where do you have you been to? Have you been to Dubai? Have you been to Dubai, Cynthia? Hawaii? Are you in my head, Cynthia? Get out of my head! Get out of my head! Oh, Cynthia! All the places you haven't been. Yeah, I used to say Hawaii was too far, and they're like, Sharon, you've been to Bali, you've been to South Africa. What the heck are you talking about? Hawaii is too far. You haven't been. So let's go, girl. Let's go. Yeah, those are definitely on the bucket list. Yeah, girl, get out of my head, get out of my bun. Ah! But definitely, yes, Hawaii. Oh, who's going to Hawaii? Anybody putting a trip together? Because actually, I wanted to go to Maui. I wanted to go to Maui before all of that stuff happened. And for a long time, I've been planning it. I don't really, I've been to London and it's been a long time. Yes, yes. Oh, but listen, I like to just turn on YouTube, put it on the big screen TV, and sit down and kick up my leg and act like I'm there, right? But Maui was one of the places I wanted to go. And usually, before I go to a place, I start asking a lot of questions. And I wanted to use my time sharing that I've had for more than 25 years now, because we vacation every year. I don't care if it's down the street or somewhere with a stove that the chef can cook. Because, but yeah, Maui would have been the place because I kept saying that's where we're gonna go. I know they have the fire rod, so we probably would have to go on the Big Island, right? The main island, Honolulu, because of Hawaii 50. I said I always wanted to go to Hawaii. Some of you might be too young to remember Hawaii 50. DC, you have to ask your mom about that because we used to watch Little House on the Prairie in Hawaii 50. So Jerusalem, yes. Dubai, I've been to it. I like it, but it was okay for me. Paris was on my list. Someone mentioned there were lots. Yeah, a friend of mine. Well, I'm friends with her mom. She's an actress. She does Instagram is the body positive. She's a body positive, and when she did the thing about the bed bugs, I was like, all right, Paris, may I pull up? May I holla and pull up on that? Because we had some friends. We were supposed to go to the Olympics, and when was that? I don't know what else I had planned, but I was like, I wasn't feeling it. But they might have, everywhere. I'm sure New York City, they have rats. They have them everywhere. So yeah, I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but I like the southern part. When I went on that Mediterranean cruise, oh yeah, I want to talk about the cruise. Oh, the bed bug thing, no sir. Itchy owie, itch out. No. Yikes. Like, oh, so when we travel, oh, VC, if you're still here, when we travel, see, this is the thing. I love those bloggers that when they travel, they show you the little packing stuff and the cute things. And then you would like, go to the link in my bio. Go to the link. That's how they make money. Please, yeah, Amazon shop. Gotta know how to do that stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Oh God, what did we have to talk about the bed bugs? But everywhere it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, it's a country, it's a place. It is what it is. So it may not be perfect. Vancouver. Hey, 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 Casey, inspirational tales, climbing the mountain. I'm gonna have to get fit before I even try to climb up any mountain. I want to sit down and watch that thing, or maybe I should just get on that bike over there. That's what I'm gonna do. Get on my bike because Rupert is gonna come on later tonight, and usually sometimes he was like, "Jared, you want to come on?" I'm like, "Man, I'm sitting on my bike." But yeah, we're talking about hey, hey, hey. She's in the house. Casey, brap, brap. Oh, we can't say brap, brap. Yeah, so we're talking about travel. Where's one of the places, or a couple of places that you'd like to visit, or places that you visited and you think others should go there? They should check it out. Jamaica, of course. Hey, I remember the Milk River Bath. And I remember going there as a kid, but it was a long time ago. They talk about the Milk River bath. I've been to the Dunn's River, and there was another little place. It was almost like the Dunn's River Falls, but it isn't. It's right there. Italy, yes, you are one of. All right, guys. So this is see, I like bang for my buck. So you could fly to Rome, but this was my very, very, very first cruise. Not that I couldn't go on one, but yeah, I'd rather fly than a cruise. But anyway, the cruise we flew to Barcelona, so you can get an airport from the tri-state area. Ben Brown Jr. Hey, I'll be leaving now. Thank you very much. I enjoy you. Thank you for being here. We're just chit chatting, and I appreciate you supporting with the watch hours here. Thank you so much. I'll come on over and see what's going on. Italy is nice. The Netherlands, let's go. Oh my God. Here's another travel buddy, BC Casey. Oh my golly gee, Cynthia, let's go. Italy. Mediterranean cruise was from the tri-state area. You can fly from there to Barcelona, and then you spent a day, and then we took the ship. We were a day at sea, and then we stopped in Naples, and you get to see all the Positano and the Amalfi Coast. So we had a driver that can take you throughout the whole day, and different places you could stop. What a place called where when the volcano and all the people are frozen in stone. It starts with a P, Pompeii or something like that. Yeah, so that was nice. So I think something like that. And then if if you don't worry about seasickness, but I never really had it because it's huge, it's beautiful. There's so many things to do. And then another day at sea, and then we went to southern France. I think maybe southern France. No, no, no. Then uh, another place where we went to, we were able to go to Rome and Saint Peter's Square. Usually the Pope comes out on a Wednesday. By the time we got there, I think we missed him. But and security tight, tight, tight. You know, in Jamaica they say security tight, tight, tight. Can't run upon nothing. Can't run upon nobody anywhere right there. And it's like a country to itself. Because they have the Swiss guards. They don't play, right? But you can go into St. Peter's Square. Very interesting. On the walls, you look up, and I don't know if those are saints or whatever, but on the top of the wall, all the way up, like a Colosseum almost, but from what I can remember. And so we were able to go to into Florence and the Leaning Tower of Pisa. I have some stuff from there too. I need to load the Leaning Tower, and then you can take pictures like you're holding up the tower, right? So that's more bang for your buck. So in Rome, Florence, and of course with the Leaning Tower of Pizza. Now I'm leaning like the tower. Okay. And you get to go to the fountain where everybody throw the coins in, and the food is good. I don't eat a lot of dairy because the pain from my in my stomach, and I wouldn't eat. And they say, "How can you come and you not try the cheese and stuff?" And I tried it, and then guess what? It was really good. So that was good. And then listen, Mikey Demar, now come over here. So now it's a cute word. Oh, what am I looking behind? Where wanna come from? Hey, behave on yourself in here, you know. Behave on yourself before I have to go in a timeout. All right? Come on, so now go try fling rock stone and run. Yeah, so with Italy, that's beautiful. Positano, Malfi, and somewhere else we went. And that was nice. Then you go back to the ship, and then we went to southern France. I think it's more southern. And you can go to where Princess Grace. What's the place? And all you do there gamble. But we did one of the casinos. We went up by that where um, Monaco. Yeah, and that's all on a Mediterranean cruise. Yeah, so that's why I'm telling you, when you guys, like VC said, you could plan it out so you can get to experience all of that. So we got to see Spain, Barcelona, and then the ship came back to Barcelona, but you can pick it up elsewhere. There are different people who come on. Maybe you flew in to Rome and then pick up that, and it may not be 7 days, and it wasn't boring at all. And then there's another one. The first one we were supposed to take, we would have been in Greece and not Florence, Venice. But something happened and it changed, and so that's how I got to experience all of this, and I have no qualms about it. So sometimes you can look, where do I want to go and get the most out of it? You see, and That's, and sometimes too it's cheaper when it's less expensive or more affordable when two people are traveling. So that was nice. Where else have I been? Tortola, Beef Island, Tortola, but that's the British. Like they have Tortola, Peter Island. That so you have the U.S. Virgin Islands, and you have the British Virgin Islands. And the British Virgin Islands, you had to have your passport because if you're a U.S. citizen and you're over here, you live in the U.S. You don't really, But if you have your passport and other stuff, you can go into the Virgin Islands and at least see more places with that. Like I said, Bermuda was nice. Grenada was very nice too. Um, and Yeah, Belize. Belize is a place I haven't been, but we're looking to go back into Belize. If the mission doesn't go, I'm going to go on my own and check it out. And so it depends. Like I said, do the research. We're still on travel, so yeah, Hawaii and Puerto Rico are the two others places still U.S. So that's not a problem. And Puerto Rico, I've been to quite a few times, and I think they have a forest there. Is it the forest jungle? The forest? Yeah, because we stayed over by that, and that's where the bioluminescent. That's it. Don't ask me to say it again. By the glistening water. So yeah, travel is good in life. When we talk about life and purpose and making bold choices, they say powerful choices will give you powerful results for what it is that you want. VCL is laughing, right? So the thing is, when we talk about our purpose, because we're talking about that too, what is it that I am called to do and who am I called to serve? I spoke a little bit about that last night. And so I get people, even now, my clientele, I've had clients as young as 26 and clients up to 60s, early 60s. And everybody is trying to figure out their purpose. What is my purpose? Why am I here? What is it that I'm called to do? And that those are some serious questions to ask yourself. And sometimes too, people that I get, they've already raised their families, they've had some changes in their lives, and now they're looking, what do I need? What do I need to do? And you can have it too. I want to do something. If that one thing that you could do it, what would be that one thing? And you knew you had no chance of failing, what would be that one thing that you would want to do? Because sometimes we're getting caught up with the money. Oh, but I can't make money. The question is, there was one thing that you could do and you knew you had no chance of failing, what would that one thing be? And the moment that you do that, it will give you so much freedom. Sometimes, too, you'll feel guilty, but God, you've given me such a life and a mind to wanting to do other things, to serve other people or a job or something that I really love it. I like it, what I'm doing. But here's the other thing that I want to do. It doesn't mean that you're being ungrateful. You're just tapping into your calling. And the moment that you realize it and you start to do that, then you won't be so afraid to to move forward with it when it's time, because all of it may not happen right away. Okay, it may not happen right away, but you are going to get the nudge. You're going to get the nudge to move forward, or you're going to start, as people say, you're going to start seeing the signs. Like VC said, if I could get paid to travel, to travel because I love it, things are going to start popping up. Now, do you jump at the first thing you see? No, because now you're going to start saying, all right, this is what I love to do. Here are the other things. Like I know Casey, I know VC said if she, could get paid to travel because she loves it, she loved to do that. And I know Casey loves to journal. That's when you take that to your journal. Some of you talk about your vision boards and you talk about other things that you're doing. Here's what do you need for it to look like. And I tell you how powerful this is when they say write the vision and make it plain. When I was little and we used to draw, remember we draw pictures of what our house would look like, a mom and a dad. And the dad, for my dad, always have to have an afro, and the house and like the two kids. And then there was the house with a chimney. Now I'm in Jamaica. Women know about a chimney with fireplace. Probably saw it in a book, with the chimney and the smoke coming out of it and the tree in front of the yard and this and that. And I would always draw those pictures. And then we could take a cardboard box. I don't know. See, I don't know if you don't know what these kids, if you know ever did any of them stuff. Take cardboard, cut it out, draw the windows on the cardboard, cut them out. You could make little stuff like you had curtains and just use your imagination in the house. And that's how I would always do that. Oh yeah, this is a house, what it's gonna look like. You make the square and then you make the triangle on top and then the squares and with the cross so it looked like windows and the steps and with some flowers. But I'm still fascinated with the chimney with the smoke out of it. And that's, if you guys are still here with me and I'm making sense, just drop a one because I need to know if you guys are here. But I'm talking about the vision, even as children, what we did, right? Guys, it's years later I realized the house that I always drew as a kid. Are you guys, if you're not, can you guys hear me? Oh, Casey says, remember that. Right. Think about it. The house that I drew, guess what? It's the house that I now live in, that I've had over maybe 20 years, with the tree in front of the yard. The house, guys, as a kid that I used to draw. You'll see the video before this. And it so happened today I did that with a fireplace. It has a chimney. If I could hit my forehead, I would. If I could slap my forehead. Please, please, please don't bring me the tears. My makeup so nice, Lord. Who that is? You change your name again? But what I'm saying is this. When they say write the vision, make it plain, there's something that is inside of us that the answer is there. We talk about the power of God, right? It is within us. And we see it, you know. So many of you already, like they would say, tiptoeing around what it is that you're called to do. Because sometimes we worry so much about the here and now. We worry about, I don't have it. Where is it going to come from? The Lord will provide. How is that? It's based up on the prayers that you pray. Come on now. Don't let Sister Sharon, Dr. Sharon now. I'll turn all of that on in here, up in here, up in here. Right? It's the power that's within us that has been given to us. I believe that we were created by a loving and forgiven God, a loving God, right? I'm not going to say anything else. That's what I believe. And I choose to live my life as such, a merciful, a loving, a kind God. And yes, He will give me and give us the desires of our heart. And so, if we ask Him in advance, thank Him in advance, and we ask Him, but He also uses other people to bless us. See, a lot of people get this, but some of you will. And so He will bless you so you can bless others. But there are those who will open the door for you who might have gone ahead. And those are the people who have already recognized their blessings, right? That's what I believe. We serve a loving, abundant God. And so, whatever my needs are, they will be met according, hallelujah, according to his riches and glory. So, I wrote something on one of my things that I am worthy. I am worthy. I'm going to tell you something. Some of the biggest and the most wealthiest personal development coaches. Oh gosh, I'll do that. I'm going to do a Zoom and invite you guys on it because we need to talk about that. Because people who are considered new age and gurus are they're taking it from the Bible, right? Parlez-vous français? I want you to hang around and watch. Okay. I just placed him in timeout to go sit in the corner. He can watch. He can't say anything. Yeah. So, what is it that you need? And all needs are being met. And everything that I've ever wanted, I knew as a young girl, I always wanted to work for the airlines, right? I always wanted to. And I ended up doing so, right? I knew that I wanted to go into the medical field. I ended up doing so. So there are things about life as longer you live, there are things about life that you will understand, like there's a time to born, a time to die, a time to laugh, a time to cry. All of that is going to come with it. But in the midst of it, I always say, and you who are here at this time, take notes. Where do you see yourself 6 months from now? I'm going to give you 6 to 8 months from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years, 12, 17, 20. You see what I mean? Let's space it out. Do you have to be that specific? Yes. Because the moment that you do that, things will start to line up on your behalf. You're speaking those things, right? That's right. Sometimes a delay is not a denial. And sometimes God will give you what you want. You keep badgering him, badgering him, badgering God. You'll get what you want, baby. And then it don't work out because you weren't even supposed to have that. But we have the power of choice. That's right, Casey said. Sometimes things may not appear favorable and can be sometimes be our greatest blessings. Yes, like many times we've dodged a bullet when you know you're not supposed to do something. And the older that I get, the more mature I get, I choose to listen to it. Because when I push against the grain and I go for it, that's not the thing that I'm supposed to be doing. You get what I'm saying? So I said this to say that it's 555. Praise break. Hallelujah. Look at VC around the house. Hallelujah. 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 Mm-mm. I live a pretty simple life. One thing I do love, though, I love a good vacation. I love a good trip at least once a year. Give yourself that. Give yourself that. And sometimes people may not understand it and they may get annoyed by it. And I look back at the kind of kid I was. I said my mother had to knew that I was special. She had to know that seven of us. So each of us was so different. And I'm going to tell you this, like later on, There's certain personality tests that you can take that's used in corporate. And once you take those personality tests, you'll understand who you are, why you think the way that you think, right? In order for you to work well with a group, or if I'm hiring someone, let's say I'm hiring a personal assistant, there's certain personality tests that they need to take. Because sometimes it's like they're not gel, there's something that's off. So if you know who you are, I am the one like this. And that's why me being a coach works so well for me. And I love it because it's a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of information